Yeah, more talent coming up next here, folks. Okay. Stephen Blier is a musician of he's amazing. Amazing musician and pianist. He is also has FSHD. Many of you know him, but he is a master adapter in my mind, and he does not let FSHD slow him down. And he is proof of that. We welcome him now. Hello, Stephen. Good to see you
Hey,
again.
how are you?
I am doing great. Having a lot of fun today, meeting amazing people, you being one of them, because I love musicians. I cannot play an instrument. I don't sing very well. And when I get the chance to talk to musicians, especially someone at your caliber, it is always a treat for me because I'm just amazed by the skills.
Yes, well, you know, I'm amazed sometimes at how being a musician, and I've been a professional for almost 50 years now, at how the flower never stops opening.
Yeah.
And the road never stops, and the development never stops. And I must say that one of the reasons that's especially true for a musician like me is that I'm playing with FSH dystrophy. So I'm encountering new things I have to adapt to, new ways, new things, new places I have to get around or learn how to do a different way. And it's been, I would have to say it's been bracing and stimulating, humbling. I hate that word when people use it in a false way, but I actually mean it. You feel that the task gets more complex the more you know about it. That's true for everyone, and it's double that with FSH.
Yes. Yeah, I think I totally agree with that. And you talked about the flower keeps opening. I love that. That's a great analogy. How difficult though was to see that and to see that positive spirit during this COVID time. I know that was especially tough on the performing arts world.
Well, the minute the lockdown, the pandemic, and the quarantine happened, I made a few very firm decisions. One was that I was going to play the piano every day for a good chunk. I would say an hour was my minimum, even when I didn't really feel like it, even when I didn't sound very good, even when I had nothing special to work on, I played every day. And it was the longest sustained period, since I'm a collaborative pianist, of me being alone with myself and my instrument day after day after day. I haven't had that in decades, many decades.
Wow.
And, if you want to get to know your knuckles and your wrists and your tendons, that's the way to do it. And I can't say that I suddenly found that I had solved all of the piano problems that have plagued me, that plague every pianist. Everyone's got their thing. I didn't solve them, but I got to know them. I got to say, you, I know what to do about you, or I'm coming back to you tomorrow, and we're gonna fight this one out.
Yeah.
And I think I actually made some progress.
Huh. So
you
had that isolated time to kind of work on that craft more than ever, you said, and it was actually, you turned it into a positive.
I turned it into a positive. I made a few other decisions too, which was that my concert series, New York Festival of Song, was not going to go underground, that we would do video concerts.
Okay.
And
nice.
We did a beautiful season of video concerts and two video benefits, two video galas that were extremely successful. In fact, the second one, which was just last May, was a program featuring 9 very distinguished, actually superstar mezzo sopranos. It was called How About Those Mezzos? And I had Isabel Leonard and Federica von Stade and Joyce DiDonato, Kate Lindsay, superstar mezzo, Susan Graham. And the finale was, and I don't know how we did this, because no one was in the same city.
Okay.
No one was, but we did a version of Anything You Can Do, I Can Do Better, which
Really?
we had a rewritten lyric for it that was special for them. And they each got their little headphones on and their iPhones out, and we assembled this incredible ensemble piece with 9 of them. And at the end, Tom Hampson, the superstar baritone, came on to just sing 3 words, "No, you can't." And he was the unannounced visitor. But we had a very successful season, and I learned how.
Wow.
I mean, it's odd to make accompaniments in your living room for someone who is not there.
Yeah.
And you're just sitting there imagining, and then you start to learn when you send them something and they send you a scratch tape back, and you go, oh, there's a little consonant cluster there that takes a hair more time. You start to see tiny, tiny things that if they were in the room, you would just do because you would hear them in a second. But when they're not there, the accompaniment starts to become this sort of piano fantasia. Well, guess what? It is, but it's not. It's a piano fantasia that has to go with someone singing. And there were some unbelievable, subtle, flexible performances that we got with 2 people on different continents and different time zones, not performing at the same time, because they would just put a headphone in and sing to my track. It was kind of karaoke night on a very high level.
Yeah. Man. Now, did that all happen though live during those events?
No, it was not live. It was
all pre-recorded and then trying to put all that.
I pre-recorded, and then they sang to my pre-recorded tape, and then my beautiful videographer Jonathan Estabrooks, who got to know me pretty well during this thing, assembled the 2 videos with the singer and me, and turned it into something quite beautiful.
Wow.
But there are times, I mean, almost all the time, people didn't understand that we weren't doing this in real time. They kept saying, "What software do you use?" I thought, I don't use no software. I just play and they sing later on, and somehow they rehearse with it enough that they have learned every little twist and turn of my crazy accompaniment, and they're right with me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I've seen, some live performances where they try to stream it, but really it was only like one musician usually kind of doing everything, or maybe they were 2 might have been in the same room. Maybe they were trying to do the timing via Zoom or something. And it always seemed a little bit disconnected, like they weren't quite in sync. That is just phenomenal to me that you would play the music, someone sings to it, like you mentioned, karaoke night, and then that video. Where can people see that? Is it still out there that people can view it?
It's not up right now, but I think we're going to try and rerun it, or it might end up being something that they could hook onto as a gala donation or something. I don't know, but I'm hoping that those videos are not gone forever. In fact, some of the singers are posting them now. Sasha Cook has our performance up on her Instagram. It might be, gosh, we did a few songs together. We did Take Me to the World together. That was exquisite.
So have you done live performances recently again?
Yes.
And
my first was August 1st. Was that?
I said, what was that like, the first ones that you were live again in front of an audience after being in quarantine, for an extended period like that?
Well, it's interesting you should ask, because in recent years, I've started to have a certain kind of odd stage fright. I'm not afraid to go on stage. I'm not emotionally frightened, but my body sometimes, if I start hearing negative voices, my body can really lock. And as an FSH guy, I don't have a lot to fight it with. If my arm locks, I'm just doing the best I can.
Mhm.
People don't always know it, but I know that that arm is not free. I am not playing freely. So when I went on stage on August 1st, I made a deal with myself. First of all, I practiced those 17 pieces hours and hours for 2 solid months. I just thought, I am not leaving this to chance.
Mm.
You know, it was a concert I had done in a video form, but the time before I'd been with 2 other pianists, and I'd given those ladies all the hard songs. I just took the beautiful, easy ones. Suddenly I was doing the same concert and I had to do the hard songs myself. So I put myself to a test, and my one requirement was not to play perfectly, but to play beautifully.
Mm.
And also that my arm would feel comfortable and the way it did when I was at home on my very best days. I wanted a soft arm. I said, if you play well, I am buying you a present, Stephen. And if you don't play well, if you don't, we're retiring. That's it. It's over. I'm not going to go through this anymore because it's just too much. There are other things to do in life. Well,
Right.
I did play well. And I'll
Good.
show you the present.
They'll say, what did you buy?
I'm a fountain pen collector.
Are you? I didn't know
This
that.
is my fountain pen.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, it is a beauty.
Wow.
It's an Aero Diplomat, and they didn't even pay me to tell you.
We need them to be a sponsor now.
Yeah, you do.
Because they're going to sell a lot more of them after this moment. I guarantee it. People are probably right now trying to figure out, where can I get one of those?
Yeah.
That's good. I'm glad that it worked out. I'm glad you got yourself a nice gift, and then you continue to play on. So then,
Yeah.
what does 2022 look like for you? What is the next year as you roll it over, right, from one to the next? What do you have?
I've got a bunch of concerts coming up. My Juilliard concerts in January. Actually, next Monday, I'm doing my traditional, very New York Christmas show, which is called A Goyish Christmas to You, which is all the Christmas songs by Jews.
Nice.
Some of them with new lyrics.
Very cool.
We have a very funny lyric for chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and it's but also some comedy material, and then just some songs that you'd be surprised. Winter Wonderland is by a Jewish composer. Obviously, the Christmas song, everyone knows that White Christmas is by a Jewish composer.
Nice.
And then a season of concerts, Juilliard, and I'm doing an Argentinian songs, a concert about Buenos Aires in February. So the beat goes on.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
the big endeavor for me is that I think during the pandemic, I started to realize concerts are great, and I do always want to be in that concert hall energy, but they are, in the scheme of things, they are very difficult, very time-consuming blips. They come and they go.
Right.
And audiences enjoy them. Then some critic sort of has the last word. Actually, his words last longer than my notes. Something he wrote in one evening, supersedes what I did over 4 or 5 months of work. Yeah. And I thought, that's not right. That really isn't right. Oh. I've always thought that was not right. And I put it to my board at NYFOS, New York Festival of Song, that we've been talking about a NYFOS record label for years. And I said, guys, I'm about to have a very big birthday, which I had on Thanksgiving. Nice. And that record label is happening. It is happening. I don't have any more time to wait. So NYFOS Records is actually happening. Our first 2 singles are out. They are available on all platforms.
Nice.
They're both live performances from the archives. And the 3rd single will be out December 3rd, I think. And it's from our Christmas show. It's our version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in Yiddish,
In Yiddish.
which it's fabulous.
That's awesome.
It's absolutely fabulous.
Well, congratulations on the label. That is phenomenal.
It is phenomenal. I've wanted this for 20 years, longer.
Wow. Good for you. Way to go for it. That's
And
great.
something happened. I mean, during the pandemic, I just realized life is short.
Mm.
You can't keep saying 1 year or other, we'll keep raising funds. No, now. This has to happen now.
Last question before we let you go about, you're here on Giving Tuesday, bringing your positive energy, your adaptive nature that you proved to us time and time again. How important is a day like this in your perspective, getting the word out, getting funds raised so we can try to hit our goal for a treatment?
Well, of course, it's crucial.
Right.
This is what we call send Steve to dancing school. That's how I think of Giving Tuesday. I want to go to dancing school. So people should give, and a lot of people want to go to dancing school. There's some other things I'd like to do in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to get up and do the dishes again.
Oh.
It's the first thing I would do. And then I would hug my husband.
Nice.
And then I would hug a lot of people.
Wait a minute. You're going to do the dishes first before you hug your husband?
I am, because he's done the dishes for a long time now. And believe me, I think it would mean as much to him as a hug if I got up and did the dishes. But of course, they're so close to a cure. I mean, the research has been phenomenal. And so the dollars aren't just dollars to make the donor feel kind of momentarily good. These are dollars that are going to change our lives. They're going to change my life and all the people that have FSH.
Yeah.
And maybe other diseases too. I mean, it's, this research is apparently leading to cures for other conditions.
Mm-hmm.
So I exhort everyone to be generous, because this is real and this is happening.
Yep. And we got to send you to dancing school.
And I think I need to go to dancing school, for God's sake. What do you think? I'm not getting any younger.
I love it. That's the best. Stephen, it is a pleasure talking to you yet again. You're amazing. Thanks for bringing it today and bringing all that energy and spending some time with us. We really appreciate it.
I'm very grateful to you. Thank you.
Excellent. That is Stephen Blier. Folks, you check it out. He has his record label out right now.
It's under Nifos Records or New York Festival of Song.
New York Festival of Song. You heard it here
Just
first.
click on it, or my name. Got some really good music there.
Excellent. I'm going to check it out. That sounds awesome. Thanks, Stephen.
All right. Bye-bye.